Okay, something strange just happened. I hope I'm live. That didn't behave the way it normally does, but it's giving me a green dot, so maybe it is live. Something excellent just happened, and I want to thank Bill and his wife or girlfriend, whoever was with him, but a viewer of the show. I was just standing right here. Uh-oh, am I live? Did I just do something wrong? I was standing right here, and yeah, we're live, that's good. I noticed this guy selling Kamala Harris t-shirts. I just don't know if anybody is buying them. You guys in the market for a Kamala Harris t-shirt? It's a hot seller. How are the Kamala Harris shirts doing? People buying them?
Huh?
People buying these Kamala Harris shirts? Really?
Yeah, a lot.
All right, very good. And the clergy. So if you support Kamala Harris and the clergy, that guy's got everything that you need. But thanks again to Bill. If anybody is in the neighborhood and needs a chroma key studio, BC Studios. Bill is a friendly guy who stopped to say hello, and he's a viewer who we've apparently spoken with before, who was involved in some of the demonstrations during COVID. A lot of people were out during that. So I'm back on my way to the post office here. More legal filings. This one has to do with the Donald Trump assassination attempt. I think people who are regular viewers and people who are sponsors on odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com, or subscribestar.com, or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. People who are subscribing know I've been doing lots of shows with Ken Silva. You can also see that stuff on X at JG_CSTT. X has not been behaving for me today. I think they said the cyber attack is over or still happening. I don't know. It's probably happening in different parts of the country at different times. But I don't think I'm live streaming on X right now because of that. And it really is amazing. I saw Elon Musk saying that he was amazed at this cyber attack. I'm not. This is what these guys do. Now, so we still have the police here at this hotel. Look at that Tesla. What's that doing here from New Jersey? So this is the Stewart Hotel. And this was a migrant shelter. It looks like it still might be. We have all these bikes. They've kind of come back. There was a period initially, right after when Trump came in, where all of these bikes left. And we still have people hanging around here. Sort of sketchy looking. Don't really know. Oh, we've got igloo cooler sales here. This guy doesn't want his face to be seen. Very likely a criminal. Why don't you want to be seen, bro? Yeah. It's got all criminals here. See that? Who are these people? They're all on the phone. They're all coordinating something over here. It's very interesting. So, I wanted to come out because there's been a new filing in the Eric Adams case. And it's interesting. Sal Greco and Serena Townsend had a really great episode earlier today. Serena, for people who haven't seen her, is an attorney, but moreover, she used to work for the Department of Corrections, and she was an attorney like at Rikers Island. She was in the internal. She's ex-NYPD, right? She was in internal affairs and everything. So she has a lot of insight, and Sal does as well. Just into every time they have those finest unfiltered guys and gals have a show, there's details about police procedure, stuff that normal people don't know, that these guys just rattle off in casual conversation that you're like, oh, I never knew that. Like, what were they saying? There's this issue now where some woman who was a cop got like immediately promoted to being a detective, which apparently takes like 10 years of being super on top of being a good cop. And this chick just showed up with a, bubble booty, and she was like moonlighting as a stripper. Sal brought up the very good point that there was some cop recently who got disciplined. Now, what is this? What's going on with this outfit?
How are you?
Are you the world wrestler? Are you just going to the wrestling?
Just going to the event, yeah.
That's pretty done up, man. Have a good time. So I guess we got wrestling happening today. That's something else, huh? That guy is into it. See, there's a vibe right now on the street, right there. That kind of interaction. Seeing somebody weird, smiling with a stranger about it. It also, today is kind of like seems like the first day of spring. Oh, but actually, I think that's not until the 21st or something like that, but it's the first sort of spring-like day. And anyway, they were basically Sal and Serena, and you can get Sal at the Sal Greco. I think Serena is Townsend Serena, at Townsend Serena on X, I think. But they're on the Finest Unfiltered, with Eric and John, and those guys do a great, because it's just so real, they're not trying to put anything on. They're just telling you about all their experiences, and like I'm saying, they might not even realize it, but just their casual conversation and just the details that get released when they're talking about all that stuff frequently cause me to think, holy cow. So, for instance, like this, there's a big case that actually I didn't understand it at first, and Sal has been talking about it. He was a little bit not happy with a title that I made, because I initially thought this Lieutenant Epps was in on the scheme, but it turns out that's not the case. She was victimized, and there's something going on where the executives at the NYPD were having sexting, or somebody had naked pictures of this woman and sent them around, and the cops, they now have all these WhatsApp messages of the cops. I mean, it's really unbelievable. It's, I forget the crime, like revenge porn or rape something or other. It's not rape, but you know what I mean. It's a pretty serious crime to take naked pictures of somebody and distribute them against their will. I mean, obviously not something the cops should be doing. Wow, so we got a real big wrestling thing happening today. Well, that's cool. Will Hulk Hogan be here? I guess he's sort of like 70. Queen Charmel. I don't know any of these people. But World Wrestling, whatever, coming to Madison Square Garden, I guess tonight. So anyway, there's going to be an interview with Lieutenant Epps, and she has a lot of damning, I wonder what that woman thought of the assassination. She's got a lot of damning evidence that does not look good. But so anyway, Eric Adams, USA versus Eric Adams. There's the New Yorker hotel where Nikola Tesla spent the last years of his life, and he died in that hotel. There was, I don't think it's on there anymore, there's only one. There was supposed to be on the roof of that thing a big Tesla coil. Remember, he had this plan to broadcast electricity. He was somehow combining electricity with radio waves, and he could broadcast electricity like you receive a radio signal. I don't know too much about it technologically, but that's what he was doing up there. Anyway, so Lieutenant Epps is going to testify, and I think we're going to have more NYPD scandal after tonight. Holy crap, look at how many people are here to watch wrestling. It's a really big, is this like, what is the Wrestling World Series? The world's most famous, what is it? Arena, right, of course, Madison Square Garden. But I guess all these people are just here waiting to get into the wrestling. This is the site of my last conversation with Jack Posobiec. Oh, so that's the other thing. So this is what I wanted to talk about. So a lot of people saw yesterday, I was over, or 2 days ago, whenever that was, maybe it was yesterday, I was down at the Tesla place. No, it was Saturday. And Uniska Wahala-Kano, the woman who goes by Crackhead Barney, she was there. Now, I happen to know that in Nigeria, maybe not everybody, but I've known people from Nigeria, and I don't understand this, but people have like two names. And I don't mean UNESCO Wahala-Kano, that's three. I mean, that's her name. And then she's got another name, which is the one that I mentioned on the broadcast. I don't know. I think one of them is like a religious name, and one of them is a birth name or a common name or something like that. And then also frequently, when Nigerian people come to the United States, they'll adopt some other name that doesn't have anything to do with either of the two names. It's interesting, and I mean, that's fine. I'm not criticizing the custom, but from the standpoint of operating within the United States, I don't know how long that's been around. I'm sure Nigeria has been there a lot longer than 250 years, but it makes it easy to hide your identity and all that. But, after years of her being a serial sexual harasser and assaulting people, I learned her identity, and she's a loser, so bringing civil action against her would be a waste of time. But knowing her name is helpful, particularly when she commits crimes. Now we saw, who we got on patrol here today? Is this my buddy from the other day? I don't recognize him. So anyway, people might have seen her there. You know what? You can't get it on X right now because of the cyber attack. So let me run it again and then people can watch this. Let's just listen. Oh my God, it's Crackhead fucking Barney. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, there's always these certain people around. Oligarchy.
Your sign is incredible.
She's a lunatic. Why is she allowed to behave like a lunatic? See, these fucking idiots are always hanging out where Crackhead Barney is. This guy right here is Crackhead Barney's boss. This is why this woman is allowed to be here acting like an idiot.
He's a big fan! My biggest fan! You here, you want this shit in your mouth?
She's assaulting me with a stick in my face. Why is she allowed to act like this? This woman sexually assaulted me. I want you to arrest her.
Shut the fuck
I want
up.
you
He
to
works
arrest
for me.
her for sexual assault.
He works for me.
Yes, she shoved a turkey baster in her filthy, stinking vagina and shoved it in my face. Why is she allowed to act like a maniac on the street?
He works for me.
Arrest this woman. Arrest her. She's crazy. Sexual assault. I want to press charges.
Matola works for me. He wish. He wants to fuck me.
Tell me what happened.
Why is she allowed to act like a maniac? These fucking people can listen to that when X comes back. I just wanted people to see it while I drop that envelope in the mail, but also I have more to say about it. So, first of all, if any NYPD are listening, you fucking stupid assholes, when somebody comes up to you to report a crime, do not laugh in their face. Fucking Matola, you shithead. Here's another guy walking around with his dog off leash. He looks like a bad dude and a troublemaker, and probably not someone who's taking care of his dog, and that dog looks like it could bite somebody. That's a guy who needs to be dealt with by the police. Looks like a mixed pit bull or something. See, where are the damn police?
You've got a Bruce Willis thing about it.
Nowhere. That guy is some kind of massive asshole who just walks around New York City doing whatever he wants. Let's go this way. So anyway, I told Matola she sexually assaulted me, and then 2 minutes later, he says, what do you want me to arrest her for? Sexual assault of who? He's playing a game. He's like, huh? What? Who? And by the way, you know what? I've just realized now, I have to ask Sal, that's training. That is NYPD wise-ass training for when you're trying to wind somebody up or get them to go away without dealing with them. Hugh Johnson, and these are all shades of that kind of asshole behavior. I have a lot of encounters with the police, many not recorded, where they act like that, ask you the same stupid questions again, tell you, oh, there was no assault. Remember Chandler Castro outside the 6th precinct? The motherfucking NYPD is a useless, feckless criminal operation. It literally should be shut down and completely restaffed. I mean, they should just say, you know what, starting now, Second Amendment is mandatory and everybody is a police officer. Wear a bulletproof vest and get strapped, and then everybody's gonna know that if you mess around, anybody at all could shoot you. I would have just shot that dude, his dog at least, and then told him to put it on a leash. That's a dangerous guy waiting to do something dangerous. You cannot walk around New York City with your dog off leash. You just can't. Because then everybody gets to decide whatever laws they want to break. I mean, they let people do it, but this is actually what Sal and Serena were talking about, that there's just no accountability. But anyway, let's get back to Crackhead Barney and that stupid Sergeant Matola. So one of the things I put out, when I approach her, she's standing next to this idiot. Now, this is on the right is a picture of a guy named Ben Weiss, who writes for Fortune magazine and has written for a variety of left-wing pieces of shit. What I'm trying to figure out is this Ben Weiss the same guy? It's hard to tell. He's at a different angle. His eyes are more open on the left. Hair is obviously much longer. It looks a little bloated, like he's been having some drinks and hasn't washed his hair in days. Looks like a filthy Antifa loser to me. Look at this. Look at this. FedEx doesn't have a facility to sort this bullshit in. This isn't a risk to your products. This isn't a... Why are they allowed to use New York City like this? It's ridiculous. You can't go set up your crap on the sidewalk and do whatever you want. So I don't know, do people recognize that schmuck? Because it looks like the same guy to me. Now, I found this Ben Weiss just looking around for information about Crackhead Barney. He wrote a very flattering article about her, about how funny she is, and this is her art. Basically trying to promote the Crackhead Barney version of the message. Not that she's running around. I mean, that is unbelievable to me. If a man did something similar and took genital fluids and caused them to touch a female person, you're trying to tell me there wouldn't be outrage over that? So this disgusting hooker sticks a filthy turkey baster in her even more filthy vagina, harasses me, pushes it in my face, causes me to smell it, causes it to touch me, and he laughs. Were you injured? I don't need to be injured. It's a sexual assault, you idiot in the blue jacket. Anyway, the other thing that's interesting that I did not realize until earlier is that, later actually, when I was there I didn't realize it, but look at this. Well, here's the idiot. He's very interested in what I'm doing, and she's wearing the same color as the NYPD Community Affairs Unit, which Sal told us is some kind of special unit put together by professional idiot Eric Adams. Right? So, I don't know. Is Crackhead Barney wearing the undercover color of the day? Or is this some variation of the undercover cover of the day where they don't want civilian actors to know? They don't want to compromise what the actual undercover color of the day is, because that would compromise actual police officers working in undercover units. But maybe there's a different way that they do something similar for civilians who are undercover. Remember, we did those shows with the different units, the street crime unit, and I forget the different names, but there is a history of the NYPD having, various units that they hire civilians. They even say that they hire actors to dress up and infiltrate things, etc. It seems like that's what this is. And that's why that idiot Matola is kind of trying to shine me on rather than, how is it not disorderly conduct what she's doing there? The cops can give you a disorderly conduct ticket for absolutely any reason. In fact, it's their favorite thing to do to just get people to piss off. But they were protecting her. And she had those two guys with her. One of them looks a hell of a lot like Ben Weiss. Now remember, she was there telling Alec Baldwin in the coffee shop to renounce Israel. Is Alec Baldwin a big Israel guy? I don't think he's Jewish. Maybe he is. I don't know. But my point is, what is she hanging out with Ben Weiss? Is Ben Weiss you don't have to like Israel, but in other words, she's out there antagonizing to promote this whole division of Israel versus Palestine. I'm trying to share the message that I think whatever globalist empire is trying to destroy the United States right now is the same entity that created World War II, World War I, probably the American Revolution, maybe a lot more wars. And they are the ones who want to always create some sort of dichotomy and then polarize both sides and pit them against each other. This is why I so despise disgusting asshole Ian Carroll, that Freddie Mercury looking bitch. He is a deceptive social engineer who is promoting division, you see, because he doesn't care about facts. So he'll tell you facts like 5 Israelis were arrested. That is a fact in connection with 9/11, but then he jumps to a conclusion, which is that means Israel did the whole thing. That is his trick that he's doing all the time, and he's doing that because ignorant people hear it and like, oh yeah, that's a fact. I saw that James Corbett, what's his name? James Corbett. He did a good documentary about the 5 dancing Israelis, and I agree, they were there. They were arrested. We need to know who told them to be there, but I don't know that it ever went down that full track. So it seems to me that, one more thing, right. So see here, this is from August 2023, and here is my friend, the moron Oren Levi, wearing this really unusual royal blue, like knee brace, or what is that? It's not even on his knee. It's just clearly an article of clothing. This guy's wearing the same super, like almost iridescent royal blue. Look at all these people in the crowd. I mean, is this normal? Maybe a lot of people wear that color, but to me, just looking at this crowd on a wide shot, those dudes in the blue really pop to the eye. And see, the point of this is we saw outside the Tesla dealership, we had uniformed POs, police officers, the lowest level rank in the NYPD. And also remember, if something does happen and you have these undercover civilians around and additional officers get called, you want them to immediately be able to identify who's on our team and who is the potential problem. So that's why Crackhead Barney is so comfortable lunging at me with sticks in her hand right in front of the police. Something she should have been pushed away from me for immediately. I should not have had to ask that cop 2 or 3 times. There were a lot of cops standing around. Do that. Go wait. Don't do it. Don't do it. I need to not say that. I'm saying if someone were foolish enough to attempt that right in front of the cops, wag sticks in somebody's face and yell, you're trying to tell me they wouldn't? Sir, come over here, and start asking you questions and just get you immediately away from the person. See, the police need training to defuse situations, and laughing in people's faces when they're reporting crimes, I don't think is a good way to do that. Maybe the police know more about it than I do. I don't think so. They seem remarkably stupid every time I interact with them. And they're not around. Where the hell are they? I'm in these public parks. We saw one police officer, diminutive female, chatting outside Madison Square Garden with the security guard. What is she doing? Why don't we have groups of 2 and 3 police officers just walking around like I am, and police officers stationed on corners of streets such that, you know, if anything happens, you can get a police officer within a block or 2. I think that would improve safety, even if they were just standing there, to the extent that people got the sense that, oh, you know what? If I ride a bicycle on the sidewalk, I'm probably going to get a ticket. If I walk around with my dog off leash, I'm probably going to get a ticket. I might even interface with the cops, and I probably have a gun in my pants, so they might arrest me. And maybe people might just behave a little bit better. But instead, the police are too busy like raping each other and sending around naked pictures of their colleagues and all kinds of crap. So I'm a little bit burying the lead here because they look to be planted there, of course. Alec Baldwin in prison? I don't know the details of that case. I don't think he intended to murder that woman. I wasn't on set. I bet you that's been a pretty rough thing to deal with. He might be an asshole, but I don't think he's a murderer. And living with the knowledge that you killed the mother of a child, it's like, that's you know what, that really bothered me that Crackhead Barney did that, because first of all, it diminishes the life of the woman to have her do some kind of prank. You know, she's delighted that it got 12 million views or whatever. Do you think the little kid whose mother that was feels any better about it as a result? Wow, those are really small kids. Anyway, the thumbnail and the headline is that guy, Nathaniel Akerman, who I'm pretty sure somebody wanted him to be, or maybe he was just the first amicus to show up, and maybe he suggested he would be the guy to prosecute the case on the government's behalf. But he submitted another letter motion today. I don't think he's been accepted as an amicus, or I guess what happened was the Paul Clement, the amicus that the judge selected, that, remember, what's it called? Above the Law, I think was the article, said, is Judge Ho trying to punk Paul Clement? Because it made a point of saying that he's one of the most experienced and best conservative-leaning attorneys in Washington, D.C., and that getting him embroiled in this mess would likely make it impossible politically or even personally for Trump to hire the guy within the Trump administration. And again, if they're worried that this guy is a serious lawyer who might help Trump put them all in jail, they're going to want to put that guy on ice. Lawfare is an incredibly surgical and strategic process. That's why they have all of these lawsuits. It's not just to overwhelm Trump. They interact with each other, and things happen in one that affects the other. Dershowitz and Cernovich, I'm certain, were trying to do that with the evidence that they were trying to unseal in Giuffre v. Dershowitz, but unsealing evidence is exactly what this guy Akerman wants to do. He says, okay, we've had Paul Clement come over here and say, they got to dismiss it and blah, blah, blah. But he's urging the court to unseal these classified exhibits A through H, and that he says doing so would change the calculus on dismissing the case. They're arguing now, about dismissal with prejudice, without prejudice. Of course, the conservative amicus, Paul Clement, he said, according to his legal analysis, looking at the facts, you have to dismiss this. So the reason why they would want that, and by they I mean the lawfare perpetrators, is that now they're going to say, oh, see, look, even conservative Trump allies say we have to do this. It's all, just picture the most manipulative, like Norm Eisen as a 14-year-old child trying to get you to buy him a Lego set or something. And it's like, look, shut the hell up. And he won't give up. He won't stop. He's got underhanded methods. He'll do everything and anything, say whatever. That's what these scumbags are doing. And you know what? Look, now the stakes are even higher than they were the first time, because the first time they just wanted to jam up Trump. Now they're fighting for their lives. So it stands to reason that this is going to be the most aggressive lawfare we have ever seen. It's going to make all the Fannie Willis stuff and all that look like nonsense. Now back to Sal and Serena. Serena has a lot of, experience and personal knowledge with the whole, what happens when ICE tries to go to Rikers Island and get people. And she said that it's not a matter of Eric Adams cooperating with the feds. He can't do that. As the mayor of New York, he can't violate New York state law or the city ordinance or whatever it is that makes this stupid policy, that makes it. He has to follow it, they're saying. But Sal and Serena also went on to say that it just doesn't matter, because ICE could just station a van right outside Rikers Island and stay there, and the second they release somebody, we just get them. So I don't know. I don't understand why whoever made that law can't be arrested. I don't understand how the state can have a law that conflicts. Like, what if New York decided they wanted to make a law that murder was legal? I mean, obviously that's an extreme, what does Dershowitz like to call that? That's an extreme hypothetical situation. But seriously, that's what they do in law school, is they say, okay, if New York wants to make murder legal, they want to make bringing in murderers legal. It's actually not that far of a leap when you think about it. But I don't know. See, that's the thing. The whole United States versus Eric Adams dismissal, it makes no sense unless Emil Bove and frankly other people in the Department of Justice are doing this to just super duper jam up Trump, and he doesn't get it. There's another contradictory thing that came up. Laura had a tweet earlier where she was saying somebody had sent her some report identifying, what does that say there? The writings on the wall, language and silence in the visual arts. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, somebody sent Laura a report which was purporting to tell her that Elon Musk had apparently donated $4 million to something that was now funding the demonstrations over there at Tesla. Now, I mean, I guess that's like saying, I mean, if he has $300 million and 4 million of them, I mean, what is that like saying you spent $3 at a place that now somebody there did something you don't like? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it's like to have $300 million and what goes on with your 4 million or who's in charge of donating things to what. It is entirely possible that Elon Musk, and it's probably plausible that he has no idea that that happened until Laura tells him, but I don't know, X hasn't been working well for me at all today, so I haven't really been getting all these tweets necessarily in a timely way. But the thing that struck me about it is that there's a lot of stuff like that going on that doesn't make sense. Like, why would Donald Trump's Department of Justice want to let Eric Adams off the hook? And this whole, oh, he's going to help them. No, Serena and Sal said he legally cannot do that. So how is he going to help them? And why they don't need him to help them. They just say, we're the federal whatever, and we're sitting here right outside Rikers Island, and when these particular people come out, we're sticking them in a van and we're taking them to the airport. I mean, they don't like it because the person can run, and I mean, even if somebody falls and breaks their finger, that's not as good as if you walk into the jail and they hand you a guy in shackles and you throw him in the van. You're going to fight this guy. He could have knives, weapons. People could come to meet him and shoot you. Anything could happen. It really is crazy, this whole business. But the thing that this, Akerman dude is saying is we need a hearing to unseal this stuff. And I don't know if they're going to get the hearing or not, but it does seem to me, so I see a guy like that missing a leg, and they're all Middle Eastern. I wonder, how did that happen? He's pretty young. Seems like a war injury. Is that a U.S. service member? What are they doing over there? Don't know. Maybe they're just enjoying the day and that was a car accident. Those guys are from Staten Island. I don't know. So this guy's calling for a hearing. What it says to me is this whole stupid case is going to drag on. It's just more Norm Eisen crap. I can see it. I can feel it. I can smell that weasel. I know the way he operates. And this is what they're doing. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The thing that's weird is, oh yeah, no, I don't want to talk about that yet. The court is still doing something to me that I'm trying to resolve that I'm not quite ready to talk about. Now, the good news is I sent something to Washington, D.C. I want to be careful talking about this stuff because we're getting close to the point where George's brother might get knocked out of the box, legally speaking. So I want to be careful what I say.
No, it's great.
Now, should we go back to the Tesla place? I don't think they're going to be there today. I think these things are scheduled for particular days. There's very probably nothing going on. Maybe there's residual people protesting because, see, I think what they want to do is they want to use these paid fake protesters to kind of change the social dynamic and maybe encourage people to do their own style of protesting. What the hell is this guy wearing? Sap gloves?
He asked Anthony, and Anthony's like, no.
What's that? Does he have knuckles on those gloves? It's kind of a warm day for gloves, isn't it? What do people think about all this? And then Trump said something big is happening this week. So I know there's a lot of people who think that Trump is constantly doing 5D chess and knows everything. I hope that's correct because everything seems to indicate that the way this is being handled is absolutely terrible. I could be wrong. Remember, I'm not a lawyer. Everything I'm saying could be wrong. So people are saying 3 million is money that he finds in his coat pocket. Well, that's what I mean. It's more likely that he has no idea that's happening. But it's one of these contradictions that's like, doesn't make sense. Yeah, Karen, I'm not making fun of Staten Island. I'm saying those guys could be regular New Yorkers or a gaggle of Middle Eastern guys with one of them missing the leg, photographing the heliport. Maybe there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. Oh yeah, how's this dog park coming along? I mean, you know, New York City is pretty heavy duty. I don't know if they're using backhoes to build dog parks in your town. Probably though, because anytime you dig up this amount of land, I guess you need something like that. What do people think about random dudes walking around wearing what looks like sap gloves? Holy cow, is that somebody's chandelier? Can't really make out what's going on in there. Quite odd. Astoria is in Queens. Yeah, well, what about Astoria? Oh, Corky. Yeah, no, Astoria is not that close to Staten Island. Queens. Staten Island is further south. It's a beautiful day again. I don't know, Charles hates this barrel building. It looks like the windows, I bet you it would probably be nice in there. It's probably $5 million for one of those places. Yeah, we'll just go check the Tesla place, see if anybody is terrorizing it today. But they're like burning up Teslas, attacking Twitter. Think about that. Who's doing that? Elon Musk said that the amount of resources being used for this DDoS attack or whatever kind of attack they're doing on, you could ask for a poem there, whatever kind of attack they're doing on X, he said was using so many resources that it was either a really well-funded thing or a government. And then somebody had a report that was like, oh, it's a cyber attack from Russia. Really? Why would Russia attack the platform of the people who support the notion that the war should end? It doesn't seem like Russia is presently motivated to, you know, delay and thwart Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And as a matter of fact, I think even early, right after when Trump came in and Musk was doing all his stuff, I saw something where Putin's like, oh yeah, no, it was when Zelensky left, when he got kicked out, Putin said, hey, we have a lot of minerals. We'd like to do a mineral deal with you, rare earth, and the shared technology in the area of space, he said. Nuclear and space. Those are the two things that Elon Musk talks about maybe more than almost anything else. Nuclear power and space. So how does it make sense that 2 weeks ago Russia wanted to do business with him and now they're going to attack his platform? I don't think so. I think it's Ukraine or the United States, Democrat maniacs who want money to keep flowing that Elon Musk is trying to stop with Doge, and the war to keep happening because they like that stuff. Blowing people up and buying more bombs. So that doesn't make sense. I mean, this is very clearly, could be Ukrainian assholes operating within the United States. I actually found one of those. Do I want to talk about this? Not yet. It involves a third party that people know, so I don't want to be harmed by these individuals. I was helping this person to figure out what was going on, and we're starting to, so I'm not ready to talk about it just yet. But there are Ukrainian hackers within the United States. Why? I don't know. Does it give you some better ability to hack if you're closer? I don't see how that would work, but there's a ton about that stuff that I don't know. Maybe it would. Maybe it would. This guy was living near San Francisco, and isn't there some reason why? There's some building in San Francisco that's like the highest speed connection to the internet because it's the furthest west or something like that. I don't know. Maybe there is a reason why they want Ukrainian maniacs in the United States hacking stuff. But it doesn't make sense that it would be anyone but the Democrats or Ukraine. Let's see if X is working right now. Seems to be. It's very on and off today. Well, we're not live on there, though, because it wouldn't let me program it. Zelensky has personally apologized for disrespecting Trump and America. Well, that's good. It certainly took a long time. What an idiot that guy is. And now we're hearing that Kash Patel has turned over records related to the J6 pipe bomb to the House Judiciary Committee per request of Jim Jordan. Okay, but you know, the other thing that this is the other contradictory thing that I wanted to talk about, which is that people were saying that Ivan Raiklin and who is that stork-looking woman? Ann Vandersteel. You know, they all know Kash and Dan Bongino and have his cell phone number, and they were tweeting all these questions of why is he doing this, why is he doing that, and they were saying, look, you guys know this guy, why don't you just text him? Now wait a minute, yeah, I should have gone that way, and now, oh no, we can just go down here, I think. Where I got off the High Line too soon, but I don't think there's going to be anything going on at Tesla. So I just can't get past this feeling that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are not the guys to do the right thing. They're too close to Flynn. Now people remember Scott McMahon. Probably a lot of Crowdsource the Truth viewers are still watching Scott. I don't know why he stopped our shows together. I thought we were doing good shows. I still communicate with him, but he was running for, you know, city council or something like that. I forget exactly what. And that was why he ended the show, because he said he was busy with the campaign and this and that, but it seems like that campaign is over because they jammed him up where they said that he lied on the form about his address where he lives. They said that he was lying about his address in order to be able to run in this certain particular district. He says, no, that's where I live. So, I mean, I certainly believe him. I have no reason to doubt. I mean, he's living there, right? It seems like something he could prove. But it's just another example of, you know, they do that. Now you can't run. You go to court, and in 6 months or 8 months or a year and a half, they're like, oh, sorry, this was all a big mistake. But guess what? The election is over and he didn't get to run. That's lawfare too. It's like, you know, Jason's getting choked by somebody who works for Ed Caban. Oh, let's give him a discon ticket. Then we can leave and say, oh, there was no assault. We didn't take a police report for assault. I mean, how is that not the most outrageous violation of my rights that I go to the police station the next day to tell them, what do you mean there was no assault? I have evidence of the assault on my phone, and they refuse to look at it. They refuse to take a police report. It's an insane abdication of the role of law enforcement. I mean, the police literally have become antagonists. The way that asshole Sergeant, whatever his name was acting, I'm sorry. That is the way most NYPD officers act. And I wasn't being rude to him. She was making a ruckus, and I just said, this woman has sexually assaulted me in the past. I have it on video. And he's laughing. Just such an asshole. And what about that cop inside Target? Did people see that video? That guy was an asshole too. I just never followed up on that because there's just so many assholes. And by the way, that's half of the strategy with Eric Adams. You know, he realizes, not just Eric Adams, I was thinking about this. if you're Valerie Caproni and you're Andrew Weissman and you're Alvin Bragg and you're Fannie Willis and whatever, you're going to have a very, very good sense of what the capacity of these different district attorney's offices might be. Like I was thinking, obviously the cops have to use their discretion. They can't arrest every single person. They're not going to come arrest that guy walking around with his dog off leash. And I get it that they can't. At the same time, they're sort of waiting around for something to happen. I mean, someone should, with a uniform and a gun and a badge, approach that guy and say, "Sir, you need to have a leash for the dog." And if he doesn't immediately leash up the dog, then you start asking him some more questions. But they're not going to do that. They would rather stand around and stage protests with psychotic lunatics like UNESCO Wahala Kano. Now, who are these people? See, there's somebody here doing something. What are they doing? I saw another video in Seattle. They burned up a bunch of Teslas. Now, what's this? Are they staging stuff in this closed place? There's a Hummer. Coming spring. Boy, that really looks like an Extinction Rebellion logo on there. Maybe those two are just standing there having a conversation. Hogs and Heifers. That's closed, isn't it? Oh, this used to be Hogs and Heifers. Wow, I totally forgot about that place. I've been by here a million times, and I haven't even looked at that sign. That's weird. How could I forget? Well, a lot of stuff out of business. Nobody protesting Tesla today. But, you know, these are definitely planned, coordinated things. Looks like X is working now. Yeah, I mean, Doge is going through and tearing up all of their... Ooh, when did that open? Have I spoken about this before? I would have said something if I had seen it. So the Leica place moved down here. This used to be on Broadway. Yeah, this makes more sense. This is a high-end camera brand. Although, or maybe I'm thinking of Hasselblad. Is Leica still owned by the original people, or is it bought by China? Hasselblad was bought by China. Or... yeah, I think DJI bought Hasselblad. But there you go, nobody protesting Elon Musk right now. Not encouraging anybody to, but just checking out. So again, the part that doesn't make sense is the police sponsoring criminals. They're not supposed to do that. That doesn't make any sense. Likewise, Elon Musk paying $4 million to people who are going to go destroy his business. That makes even less sense. I just can't understand why anybody would do that, but it's a pattern, isn't it?
I'm not even kidding.
Why?
Why?
It's like a gaggle of women there. Wow, look at this brick. That thing has been really nicely renovated. That's the old homestead in there. Huh. Well, oh no, the old homestead is next to that. Old homestead is not in there. Or is it? I can't tell from here. No, I don't think it is. That's a separate new building or renovated building. Looks good. Let's go check it out. So what do people think? Is that guy Ben? Is that the same guy? Let's look at it again. I honestly don't know. Which one is it? This guy. Is it him? Is it the same guy? I think it might be. I mean, if his hair was longer, his beard was longer, he's got a thick jacket on. You know, like I said, he looks like he maybe had a few drinks the night before. His face looks a bit puffy. You know how that stuff goes. Get a little liquid retention or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's the same guy. It would be interesting if it is, because that would mean that he's writing, what the fuck are you doing? You're riding up my ass as you put a bicycle on the sidewalk, you motherfucker! Go back to Beijing and ride on the sidewalk! Fucking asshole! Mind my own business. You almost crashed into me on a bike. Fuck, what is wrong with people in this city? Gotta be careful moving cacti. What was that kid, 20? They need to make the Second Amendment mandatory in New York and warn people they better watch out. Let's eliminate the police. I'm all for it now. I'm for it. Deputize every single citizen to be a cop. And let's have it out. I don't think they're going to do that, but it would be better. The police do less than nothing. The police, frankly, seem to be involved with the biggest crimes. Eric Adams, Ed Caban, all that crap over there. He's like, yeah, go up to 54th Street and file a report where we can shove you out of the precinct house again. Assault you more. Just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. You see, people who are like under 30 or something got a real serious problem. I don't understand how we got here. Now, wait a minute. Am I still live? I'm getting black here on the phone. I don't know. The internet's not working so good today. Let's see. How's Odyssey doing? How are my people on Odyssey? Oh, maybe just this phone isn't connecting. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I think there is some latency issue because Odyssey is giving a message as well. Maybe we've lost the video here. Can people see me? Huh. Maybe they're sending these weird Chinese kids on bikes with Oh, there we are. Okay, Odyssey is working. Thanks to everybody who watches on Odyssey and sponsors on Odyssey. I really appreciate that. They are hardworking guys, independent technology company, you know? So thanks for supporting them. Thanks for supporting Crowdsource the Truth. It's very distressing. You know, we have no justice in this city. The cops are criminals. The judges are criminals. Dale Ho. I'm very curious to see what's going to go on in this Eric Adams case. It seems entirely corrupt. Anyway, I'm not sure if people are even able to see me here on YouTube and elsewhere. But I still got a bit of walking to do, so we'll keep it going. I wanted to ask people what they think about all this. Well, I guess we'll hear about it in the comments and on X. We have a very serious attitude problem in our society. 30-year-old people think they can do whatever the hell they want. This shithead's riding the wrong way in the bike lane on an electric vehicle. So he's going to injure somebody. Just a matter of time. The city is a mess. Garbage everywhere. Crime happening like crazy. What's brine? Is that it? Maybe roasted chickens? Let's look at that. I like brining a chicken. Yeah, it is. I haven't seen that before. Eat juicy chicken. It's a good idea, actually. Fire grilled chicken. Oh, I gotta check that out. Yeah? Google. I just can't understand what's going on in this case if it's not a Norm Eisen setup to get Trump. We spoke last week about how Norm is in there as an amicus, an applicant to be an amicus curiae. This filing from Akerman reeks of Norm. Now, did I know there was a Van Leeuwen ice cream place here? I don't really ever go to an ice cream place. I got the notion, I do love ice cream. I was thinking to myself, I was like, boy, I really would like soft serve ice cream, but from grass-fed cow milk. I only drink grass-fed cow milk. I know it costs more money, but I think it has a lot of additional help. Like when I was a kid, my mother loves the most skim, kind of like 1% milk. And when I was married to my Ukrainian wife, she would say, oh, this is like cow water. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because that was sort of the only milk I ever had. And then as I started getting more and more into organic food and eating healthy and stuff like that, I got into A1 milk, the grass-fed milk. I think it's vitamin K. But there's a lot about it that you can tell is definitely much different. Like you get this milk, it's a pain in the ass because it costs a lot of money. And if you live by yourself like me, you got to drink it in a week or it goes bad. And then there was one brand I was buying that I really liked. And it was gone for a while. And then it came back and it still said grass-fed and everything, but it was now, they homogenized it. And then somehow the expiration date went to like 3 weeks or something. So I don't know, something is in the milk that goes bad in a week if you don't drink it that is not there once it's homogenized, or else it wouldn't change the nature of the milk like that. Anyway, the point of the matter is I was looking around and there used to be a place that did it, the hamburger place on 7th Avenue, but it went out of business. That was great ice cream and I would go there pretty often. But then I got the idea to try to make it myself, and I did see that that Ninja Blender company makes a soft serve ice cream machine. I was thinking about getting it. Then I was thinking if I do that, I should make a video about making soft serve ice cream, but that has nothing to do with crowdsourcing the truth, and I think there's a danger with confusing audiences like that. People who want ice cream might not care for conversation about Eric Adams, and I just don't know how many crowdsource the truth viewers would care or want to see a video about making ice cream from me. So maybe I'll do that at some point in the future, maybe not. Do we have video back on YouTube? No, still spinning. So is someone now attacking YouTube? Probably not. It might just be my videos. Panasonic got vlog right. Is it playing that? No, maybe it's something wrong with the internet connection on this phone. Anyway, all right. That's the story for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Please become a sponsor on odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth. I love it when people do that. Thank you to everyone who has. Supports Odyssey, supports me, and gets you the most economical access to the content, which is what I want. I've said it many times. I'd rather have, 1,000 people paying me $1 than one $1,000 sponsor. And I initially was offering $1 a month, but I was losing money with that because it cost me more. So many people were watching the videos. The bills from Vimeo were like thousands. So I had to change it up. And the thing that's nice, you don't see that often, an RV in New York City. But the thing that's nice about Odyssey is that it doesn't rely on Vimeo, so it really frees up the Vimeo account. We could have as many people, we could have thousands and thousands of people watching on Odyssey and it just would not care at all. Fascinating, right? Well, anyway, sponsor on odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth. You can still use your regular credit card. You can also go to crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com or subscribestar.com or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. Did anybody else get a bad sleep last night? Because I didn't remember yesterday that it was going to be daylight savings time, and I woke up, and it was an hour later than I expected it to be. So then when I was getting ready to go to sleep, I wasn't tired at regular time, and I was crapping around on X. And then it got really late, and then I got into bed and just couldn't sleep. So maybe tonight that will change. But thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Enjoy the spring weather. It's almost sprung. I say that too often. It's not really funny anymore. But thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Except for Eric Adams.